Blessings and a whole lot of love. Goddess Hadia here. So since I've been on this spiritual journey, I have been learning a hell of a lot. A hell of a lot. It's never going. It's never ending. Learning is ongoing. And I have been attracted to numerology, astrology, spiritual, African spirituality. Why we choose the people that we choose to get involved with. Those self-esteem issues. It's a whole host of things that I am learning about. But right now, I want to read a little bit. I went on the internet and studied, read some articles, and I just took some notes, and I thought that I would share it with others out there who may be on the same path as me. They say we attract not what we want, but who we are. And that's very, very interesting, because we might want a specific type of mate, but we're not going to attract that specific type of mate. We're going to attract who we are at the time. And they say our relationship is a reflection of who we are at that time as well. So they say people are quick to point out what their partner is doing that they don't like, but it's hard for them to see their own dysfunctional relationship system. So we are quick to point out what is wrong with our partner, but we don't really take the time to do self-reflection on ourselves. So we quick to point that damn finger. This means that to a degree of what you are emotionally abandoning yourself by judging yourself, ignoring your feelings, turning to addiction, and making other people responsible for your feelings. Your partner is emotionally abandon him or herself as well. So if you have low self-esteem issues, if you are not taking care of yourself emotionally, mental, spiritual, they are saying that you are likely to attract someone who has similar or same issues going on with themselves. Basically, your partner is a reflection of who you are. Your relationship is a reflection of who both of you are. And that's kind of interesting. The law of attraction states that like attract likes. This means people with This means that people with low frequency are people who are insecure and self-abandoning. They attract each other, while people with high frequency, people who love themselves and value themselves, also attract each other. So people with low frequency attract other people with low frequency, and people with high frequency attracts other people with high frequency. And then I had to stop and think about, because I was working on myself and healing myself, and I got involved with someone for a short time, and I realized that I was growing, and at first this person seemed to be on the same frequency level as me. But after spending some time with a couple of months with this person, I started seeing things that's more on a low frequency level, and I had to end that, and I had to stop and think, ask myself, why did I attract this individual in my life? So I had to go back and look at some of the things, some of my thought pattern of things that I was saying that I don't want, but yet I was focused so much on what I don't want, I actually attracted that type of person into my life with not being aware. So my notes is just so messed up. Attracting at your common level of emotional health means that you have done the inner work necessary to heal your feelings of shame and insecurity. It also means you know how to fill yourself with love as well as share your love with others. So I have to let this person go and do a self-reflection on myself and be honest to myself about certain feelings that I have for other people. I had to focus on the things that I was concentrating that I don't want, that I actually attracted into my life, because I spent so much time focusing on what I don't want instead of what I do want. It also, when you're working on yourself, or you have worked on your inner self, it also means that you have stopped abandoning yourself. You have learned how to love yourself. You have learned how to take responsibility for your own feelings and not blame other people for how you're feeling. When you value yourself, you are no longer attracted to someone who emotionally abandons themselves. You are attracted to people who also value themselves and want to share love rather than get love. Because you do have people out there that are looking for love. They want to be loved instead of loving themselves. And I did attract someone into my life who I don't think loved themselves, but they had became so attached to me that it was becoming a little bit scary. And that's why I had to end that, and I had to really be honest with myself. Like I was saying, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship. Oh, I just want to have fun. And I was lying to myself. I know where my heart belongs. And I attracted this individual in my life. But when I got with this individual, it was all about fun in the beginning. But I see that this person was becoming too attached and wanted to spend all of his time with me. And really didn't have no goals. It wasn't working on self-healing. It wasn't just doing nothing for himself, but going to work, spending time with his child, and wanted to be with me. And I had to realize, like, this is not what I'm doing for myself. I am trying to grow and evolve and become a better human being and learn about myself and raise my frequency level. So I had to end that relationship and be honest with myself. So you will no longer attract and end up with someone who blames, withdraws, judges, or see him or herself as a victim. Because you do have people out there that is going through so much stuff, but they're not taking the time and sit down and look in that mirror and ask themselves, why are they going through these things? What are they manifesting with their thoughts? Why are they making the decisions with themselves? Because you do have people that will place blame on everyone else for the way their life turned out, playing that victim. And when you work on yourself, you will no longer find people like that attractive. Like, if you come across someone that has those issues, you're not going to give them the time of day. You're going to be like, we on different levels. And that's what I had to tell this person, that we are on different levels. I'm about learning. I'm about healing. I'm about keeping my, raising my vibrations. I'm just about applying things to my life that I have learned that's going to benefit me. And then I asked this person, what are their goals for life? And he asked me, why are you asking me to do what goals? But he couldn't even tell me, what his goals was. And I asked him, do you even read books? He claims that he reads the Bible. I'm like, well, I'm not going to judge him for reading the Bible, which I believe he was lying anyway. He was just doing it for me. Like, I don't want to be with nobody who's going to do things to please me. I want you to do it for yourself, because if you're doing it to please me, we still got a problem. Because anything I do is not for someone that I may be with, it's to better me. So that I can love this person, I can give the love freely without looking for something in return. Because when you love unconditionally, you love without, when you love conditionally, you love to accept the person for who they are. And your love doesn't come with conditions, which means because a lot of women, I see this, they say things like, oh, I love my husband so much because he took me on a fancy trip to Bahamas. Oh, I love my husband because he gives me money and buy me handbags. Oh, I love my husband for A, B, and C. The materialistic things doesn't make a marriage. That doesn't make, because he takes you on trips and put money in your pocket and buy your hair weaves and get your nails, and that does not make him a good man, for number one. It just says he's not stingy. And it doesn't make the relationship good, because when you're in a relationship, you should be healing one another and should be uplifting each other mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And a lot of people get in relationships without that concept. They get in a relationship to get something. They get in a relationship because they're looking for love instead of loving themselves. They get in a relationship and attach themselves because they're needy. All these negative things while people are getting these relationships. But I'm glad that I am learning and I'm able to apply these things to my life. I'm glad I'm honest about my feelings. And I manifesting good things for my life. Like I speak things into existence. And I had to, that's why I had to say, I said I had to be honest with myself, because a couple of months ago, well, before I moved in this house, I don't pray. I don't pray. But I may write a petition like to the universe of what I want. And I was manifesting something, and the same person probably was manifesting the same thing I was manifesting. And come to realize, we ended up coming together again, because we both was on the same frequency level. We both was vibrating on the same level, and we both were working on ourselves and coming to understand what it means to be in a relationship. So I'll say, do your research. If you're watching this video, research, read, seek the knowledge. Because so many people are just focusing on a doctrine or religion and living their life. But it really doesn't teach you the things you need to know in order to heal and work on you from the inner self, your inner, deep down in your core. There's so much things to learn about your chakras. It's meditation, mindfulness, Zen habits. There's so much things to learn. Learning how to accept people for who they are. Learning how to go with your intuition, that gut feeling that you get in your stomach when something doesn't feel right. There's so much to learn. Thank you for tuning into this channel. Please feel free to subscribe as I share my life experiences and the things that I am learning while I am growing. Toodaloo.